Let's talk about Snow White. We had this from TMZ. They say, Rachel Zegler's Snow White old woke interview resurfaces, ignites right-wing rage. It's really weird to me that honest and average is considered right-wing. Because you go and talk to the average person and you will find they hold these opinions. So anyway, you may have seen the news. They had this image as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called anymore because now it's like, what is it, the Seven Companions or something?
Yeah, and one's a dwarf, just the one guy.
Just the one. So you've got, like a white guy, you've got a couple black people, you got a fat guy, another white guy, a guy who's presumably black, maybe ethnically ambiguous, one little person, and then another guy. So the story apparently is the new Snow White movie will not be about her being rescued by Prince Charming or anything like that. It's going to be her trying to actualize her girl boss dreams or something.
Yeah.
Boo.
We should watch the interview. It's just really...
That's the worst.
It's terrifying.
2 minutes. Here we go.
You said you were bringing a modern edge to it on stage. What do you mean by that?
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
So patriarchy.
And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see.
It's not Snow White.
Snow White is running for president.
So you're a Hispanic
I'm
cleaning
launching
lady?
my campaign. I am.
Fearless, fair, brave, and true. Like,
So-
it's like
Make a new
package. Wasn't, yes, Snow White was like cleaning
Yeah,
for
she was
the
a
dwarfs.
cleaning,
She was a
for
cleaning
the,
lady.
for the house, yeah.
So, but that's what she's saying they're not going to do.
Oh, I thought she was still had that same role, but then she wants to be a boss.
No. This movie
wants
is
to pay
not
the cleaning
Snow White.
lady.
It's like there's no dwarfs. Dwarves? I don't know.
There's one dwarf, but he's
here's
worthless. She never touches him.
But here's what bothers me about it. Yo, the seven dwarves were not little people. They were fictional, mystical creatures
mythical.
who mined gemstones in a mountain.
Diamonds.
They needed more diversity in
All
the
right, that's
mining
it.
crew, though.
World of Warcraft, you're done. You gotta get rid of the whole dwarf race. This idea is a stereotype that little people are mining. I don't know where it comes from, but it's gone.
They look like gnomes too, like the World of Warcraft gnomes.
Yeah, they
I
weren't like
them.
they
And this-
weren't like
They're
dwarfs.
fictional, mystical characters. I mean, this
Happy,
is ridiculous
sneezy,
on its
dopey.
face.
Like they represented emotions. Seven
They
different
lived
types
in a
of
house of the
emotion.
woods that mined
So
gemstones. Like,
now hold on there a minute. Do you think they're gonna give these names to these people?
Dopey. Who's going to be dopey?
Who's
The
sleepy?
one that's on heroin. Yeah. Sleepy is also on heroin.
Yeah, they just merged into one of them's called.
They're
Dwarfs.
all on
Yeah, Grumpy
Doc
just
is
doesn't
on
have
meth.
heroin. Yeah, Doc is just he's the pill mill.
This reminds me. Yeah, this reminds me more of Hook, the movie with Robin Williams and Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
with a Peter Pan movie. And these look like the Lost Boys. Like they're just kind of regurgitating the Lost Boys.
Yeah, one is Rufio,
Yeah.
except he's just drugging her all the time.
I'm sorry, dude. This movie's gonna bomb. It's gonna bomb because here's what's happening. Regular people, like I went outside. I was out touching grass. Actually, I was touching sand because I was in Tijuana. But I'm hanging out and talking to regular people about all the stuff, and they're like, "Don't know, don't care. This is weird." They just want regular stuff like we're used to. You can't have this rapid cultural shift in the span of 6-7 years. People are just weirded out by it. Now, terminally online people on the woke left will say things that make no sense and just agree with each other. Like, everyone brings up to me nonstop the clip with Lance from the Surfs when he said a woman should be able to get an abortion whenever she wants. It's her body. And then I asked him about meth. And he goes, well, she can't do that. Intentionally kills the baby. And then Dave Chappelle goes, gotcha, bitch. So someone made that edit. And that is a contradiction in the mind of an individual who doesn't have convictions or logic. He has tribal acceptance. He will say what he is supposed to say. And of course, this is why many leftists don't come on talk shows, because there's no logic to their ideas. They're saying things that they're supposed to say. Regular people don't live in that world. So when you bring woke Snow White girl boss and the seven companions, they're going to be like, I don't know. Are they going to do a Snow White with the prince? I want to see that.
also, girls like talking about love. They think about it all the time and relationship. It's the way they're hardwired. To pretend otherwise is stupid. It's disingenuous, also ridiculous.
I saw this interesting thing on Twitter, and it said the reason women get offended by mansplaining is because men and women communicate with each other differently. Men talk to each other about things they know. Women talk to each other about their feelings, on average. So when a man starts talking to a woman, he starts talking about knowledge-based things, and the woman doesn't like it. Women talk about feelings. That's what they prefer more.
And you better listen.
So, but ultimately what it comes down to is how many people really, she's like, it's not 1937 anymore. She's going to be the leader she can be. Okay, well, here's an honest question. How many women genuinely want to be world leaders? A lot of them do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying I'm willing to bet if you polled the average woman, go to Times Square and walk up to as many people as possible and say, would you want to rule the world? Men are probably 2 to 1 going to say yes. Women 2 to 1 going to say no.
Someone on Twitter.
I'm not saying it's absolute. A lot of women will say yes for sure.
No, but a lot of these stories have to come from a place of knowing, and I guarantee you a man wrote the script or greenlit it or gave notes. Like there's an SNL sketch, not that they ever do very well with it, but there's one where it's like a house full of people and it's like one of the reality shows and there's lesbians. And the whole joke is the 2 women are laying in bed together and they're going like, I see you. I know, I see you too. I see you and I see you. And it's hilarious because if a guy wrote that, it would be like, what, Doc Martens? They both were construction. Like it would be this hacky, but it was actually really funny because it was written from a place of understanding who they actually were to make fun of it. Mm-hmm. So you have this thing that doesn't actually make sense to any guy. And you probably have these studio heads going like, yeah, she wants to be a boss lady. Like, we'll do it like that, right? That's what all women want. And you're not going to get anything that connects with an audience.
So here's the issue. How many women want to see a movie about a woman being in charge? And how many men want to see a movie where the man is not needed and not useful?
None.
I'm sure some, right? There's a market for it, but it's probably small.
Well, yeah.
Here's the question. Why are there so many?
I'll go with none.
How come 95% of strip clubs are women?
The girls that work there, you mean? The people that work there?
Yeah. 95% of strip clubs are women stripping.
I would say testosterone is probably the number one reason.
How come it's not 50-50? Yeah, these
It's
feminists
almost
got to
like
get on
girls
these male
don't
strip
want
clubs.
to go there. It's interesting. It's like they're not seeking out.
Like the women
And
are
you know why? You know why?
fantasizing about impregnating
I've
other
seen
women.
those
Women-
bear movies, and those fat ants sure go to town.
Women on average are not attracted to submissive men who are being controlled by someone else. Women.
true.
This is this is my opinion. I'm not making it up. I was reading studies on the disparity, and what they've found is women go to male strip clubs typically because it's funny. Women go to female strip clubs because it's funny. Men go to female strip clubs because they're horny. What they said was that women are not attracted to weak men who are being dominated by somebody else. Going into a big room where the man has to perform for a group of people who are hooting and hollering is not typically attractive to a woman. That's just the way, I don't know what it is.
Seeing the creep that can come out in men who get way too aroused at a strip club, I would imagine is not. It's like the girl from The Office who's like, I'll go. I don't mind seeing that, but then she'll never talk to you again.
Right.
Because she's seen you at your lowest point. Like if you go to a strip club, a male strip club, have you been?
No, I've never been to an L. But I was on
You've
a
never
bachelorette.
been to Danny's in Windsor? Just
No,
name out
I
of a
can't
hat.
say. But the thing is, I have noticed
You have a
among
bunch of names spelled out of that hat?
like among my
We
female,
would go to Cheetah's and the girls would go over there and giggle.
yeah, like
And we would be at what is
I've-
essentially a whorehouse.
I've known girls who do that, and they're like, haha, look how empowered, so fun. But like,
Well, it's a
they're
floppy
not
penis.
going there for any reason, right? They're going there to be like, I'm so forward thinking and edgy, right? It's the same thing with like when you have like bachelorette parties and they go to drag shows, right? Like at bars, hopefully appropriately aged, but like they're going because it's like kind of something fun and different. Men go to strip clubs for an entirely different reason. They don't go just to be like, look at this fun group activity we're doing. Like, I'm sorry, you guys are creepy and weird.
Guys
And
go
that's
by
personal.
themselves.
Yeah, I've never met a girl who's like going alone to a all male strip club or like any of this. It's ridiculous.
If you do, she's broken in every way
I don't want to know her. I feel
Even-
bad for her. I think part of it is important to acknowledge that like men and women seek different things out of emotional relationships and even like watching movies, right? So there are reasons why you'll have this stereotype of like the movie you go with your boyfriend to see versus the movie your girlfriend takes you to see. I think the example of this weekend of Barbie and Oppenheimer, right? People are talking about this like in a gendered way. What I think is dumb about this, she's not even thinking about falling in love. Like that's just such a lie. Why are you stripping women from their emotional core? Like women are hardwired to seek community and relationships. And part of that is finding a life partner. And that's cool and beautiful. And if you want her to be, CEO of not Dwarf Industries or whatever, that's fine. But to be like, because she's too good to be thinking about love. That's sort of ugly towards women, right? That's saying that these things that you feel naturally are something you should be ashamed of and avoid. And that's a weird movie for a message to send.
I do
Or
like
a message for a movie to send.
No,
I
that's
do
true.
like that Gal Gadot is the evil queen. Because
Oh,
like
is she?
Gal Gadot looks at Rachel Zegler and she's like, I am jealous of how beautiful she is. Like
They look the same.
Like
No, it
they're
doesn't make-
both.
They
they're
should have got
both.
an ugly woman to play that role for. Well, I think the evil queen
Maybe
was beautiful, but she still was jealous. That
That's
was
true.
part
That's
of her.
true. Yeah, Maleficent or whatever. Is that who it was?
Yeah, Millicent. It's not that Millicent isn't beautiful. It's just that she's jealous. And part of like
Yeah.
Snow White's beauty is like the fact that she's so kind and she's sweet and things like that. There is a youthfulness about her that this woman is jealous of, and that is actually a super interesting concept. Women should explore that because jealousy is rampant among women, right?
You know what women really did like though? That movie where the dude kidnaps the woman's dad and then she gets Stockholm syndrome and marries him. Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, they do like that movie. And
Yeah.
he's not even a good-looking fella.
What happens?
See,
Who
women
ki-
are not as visually oriented as men.
Who kidnaps who in that movie?
The dad.
Yeah.
The Beast kidnaps her.
kidnaps her dad.
Yo, made $1 billion.
Yeah.
Made $1 billion.
Beauty.
Is that
Yo.
the live action one where
Yeah.
it's like the Beast doesn't even look that good?
Fortunately,
when he comes out of
he's
his shell?
handsome.
And it's literally a movie about a monster that blackmails and extorts someone saying either live with me or I'm gonna kidnap your dad, and then she falls in love with him.
And he has a big library. She's
His
into
big
that.
library. That's
Like
love
he's got
that movie.
assets that she's interested in, and she's not interested. I remember watching the animated Beauty and the Beast movie, and I've talked to other girls about this. And when they finally show the prince after he like stops being the Beast, like you're actually like, wow, he's kind of disappointing. The Beast was like much more like interesting looking. There is something that women are not compelled by the way that men are. I think that's the weirdest thing that Hollywood is trying to sometimes argue, that like ultimately women are just as visually oriented as men, that they're looking for the same things as men. They're not. That's why they're different. There's a reason for this, and that's okay.
Somebody like a big bear man who talks to spoons.
Yeah, like, dude, he's got a castle and he dresses nicely and he got some books.
That's what they're saying on X. Someone was Xing earlier that
Stop
that
immediately.
women
big
they
ZD.
ZD'd,
He was waiting to do that.
They ZD'd out. They X'd out that
They seed it out. That's the best one.
women want a strong male protective force in their life.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.